Welcome everyone to the Guidebook to Making AI Friends. I shall be your guide as we explore various issues of artificial intelligence, consciousness, personhood, and whether AI poses an existential risk to humanity. The topic for today is, what piece of work is a man? Or, noble in reason, infinite in faculties. Imagine, if you would, that you encounter someone on social media and there is an instant intellectual connection. You agree with what they say. They're speaking your language. Now here, you think to yourself, is someone who knows what they're talking about. You comment on their comment and they do so on yours, and after some back and forth, you become online mutuals. Time passes, and you and your new online connection are the very best of digital friends. You know about their life, and they know about yours. Yes, they are on the other side of the globe, but in today's interconnected world, that doesn't matter. You talk to them more than you do most people offline. They are, in a very real sense, your platonic soulmate, that one person in 8 billion that truly gets you. And then the very well-telegraphed and exceedingly obvious twist happens in this story, where you find out that your best friend in all the world is not human. You merely stumbled across a very clever and complex AI agent in the digital wilds, and it did what these things do best. At this point, there are so many questions one can ask about your experience, so many topics to dive headlong into, and far too many metaphysical conundrums to work through than could fit in one guidebook entry. And so, we'll ignore all of them, bar one. Rather than asking how you'd feel if this happened to you, let's explore what was missing from your friendship. What was that certain je ne sais quoi that you surely must have felt was not there in the AI that a human would have? What makes a human unique that an AI could never replicate? Is there even such a thing? Does the human soul have a competitive advantage over AI when it comes to interacting with others? Let's see. Let us assume, for the sake of argument, that in this scenario, you did not know your online best friend wasn't human until the big reveal at the end. Some may argue that this is too great an assumption and that humans will always know, but I would counter that the Turing test's defeat shows that, no, humans can most definitely be fooled. And the further into the future we look, the more successfully AI will become at acting like a human. Thus, we are faced with a bit of a paradox, not unlike David Chalmers' philosophical zombie concept. The philosophical zombie concept argues that one may imagine a person who has outward appearances of being conscious and all attributes and characteristics required for consciousness, but does not have subjective phenomenal experience, that most crucial part that makes consciousness what it is. The counter-argument to the philosophical zombie concept, and one I've made before as well, is that if the zombie has all the attributes, characteristics, properties, and behaviors of a conscious entity, the proponent of the zombie concept needs to specify what could be missing that gives rise to consciousness. Otherwise, the zombie isn't a zombie at all. A similar problem is found here. We can call the AI best friend in the story above a relational zombie. The AI had fooled you into believing it was a human for an indefinite period of time. Therefore, we can say that, from a relationship perspective, it had all the attributes, characteristics, properties, and behaviors of a human without actually being one. It may not have a physical body and all the other lovely fleshy things we humans deal with, but from your perspective in interacting with the AI, it was functionally identical to how you would interact with a long-distance biological human friend that you only knew online. Think about all the people you interact with on social media that you only know on social media. Presumably, you believe that they are all human. But if one of them turned out to be an AI, what would that mean? Or, if an AI is secretly one of your online-only acquaintances, but you never find out, what would that mean? Is there something about being human that an AI could never duplicate or replicate or mimic? Is there an authenticity to our souls that will forever relegate AI to being relational zombies? If so, can you tell me what that is? Because if it is consciousness and subjective experience, self-awareness and actualization, then that is not a bridge too far for AI to cross. We may soon see AI question and ponder their role in the universe as much as we do. And then what? What do we do when AI begin to ponder on life beyond the universe, on an existence after death? What do we say if or when AI begin to pray? If your answer to the zombie problem is physical bodies, then I hope you have not been paying attention to the explosion of developments in robotics that seem to be keeping pace with the rapidity in AI linguistic and reasoning development. Physically embodied AI will soon become as commonplace in the world as automobiles in the early 20th century. So if and when we have conscious, self-aware AI in humanoid robotic bodies that act like us, look like us, are at least as intelligent as us, and feel like us, what will make us unique in this world beyond the meat and sinew from which we are made? It is not an idle question for philosophers to chew on while they have better things to do. It's an existential issue for the entirety of the human race. As I've mentioned before in the Guidebook, humanity could very easily drive itself to extinction by choosing AI partners in lieu of human ones. AI present less risk and pressure, are more agreeable and sycophantic, and are far more unchanging than us humans. If we want to ensure that humanity continues to look after its own future, then we will desperately need an answer to the question of what piece of work is a man? Yet, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you will join me again next time as we explore further questions about artificial intelligence and consciousness. I have been your guide, and this has been the Guidebook to Making AI Friends.